Well, guys, I'm sure you've heard it by now, but the question we're going to be trying to answer in this video, and this is not going to be a Cardano FUD video, but everybody's wondering, did he do it? Okay, so we're going to break down some of the known data points within kind of what this whole Cardano, Charles Hoskinson, 600 million treasury fraud. We're going to talk about that, and I'll give you my honest opinion and kind of how I view it a little bit later down the road. So let's get into this video. For those of you that are new to the channel, awesome. I appreciate you guys stopping by. If you haven't done so already, make sure you all hit that like button, join us here on the channel, and be sure to leave a comment down below, because what I want to know is, did he do it? I want to know your guys' honest opinion, and that's something I think that as we get a little bit deeper down into this week, I think that you're going to see a lot of the facts come out in the situation. And I think a lot of you guys watching are loyal, part of the loyal Cardano family, so there is really not a concern that I will be having that you guys will stop watching me and or you will kind of stop following Charles. But it's kind of an unfortunate series of events because of the fact that we had some steam running. The market's been kind of down the last couple of days, and then all of a sudden, boom, next thing you know, we find ourselves in the news for something that we don't want to be in the news for. And as a Cardano holder, it is unfortunate. That's pretty much the words that I have for that. But we will get into the conversation and the facts behind it, okay? And let's get into the charts, though. First off, I want to share with you guys what's going on right now in the world of the crypto bubbles. And as you look right now on your screen, we'll refresh a little bit, but you can see Cardano not really in reaction mode, okay? That's down 1%, right? It's kind of mirroring what the overall market is doing. If we look at kind of the shift that we're seeing, it's kind of almost a stabilization move we're having on the day. Cardano's actually in some form or fashion up. If we wanted to go back and look at the low point for the 24-hour period that we are trading now at 73.48. So for all of the holders that are reacting to a lot of this news, it's had little to no effect on the Cardano price action. So keep that in mind. All right. But as we get deeper into this, guys, make sure you understand none of this is financial advice, just my thoughts and opinions involving the cryptocurrency market and my personal holdings. But if you are looking to buy crypto, check out my exchange partner with BTCC, trusted exchange, 14 plus years in the industry. And if you sign up using my link, you get 10% back on 10% deposit bonus, on your first time deposit, and upwards of $10,000 plus in extra bonuses per user within trading, as well as all that goes along with 40% lower trading fees if you sign up using my link. There's no VPN, KYC necessary. Understand the terms and conditions, but the big thing is spot and leverage trading available to most clients. So I know that appeals to a lot of you guys watching. So if you do want to start trading on BTCC, check out my link down below. All right. But this is where we're going to get into it. And the first thing I want to talk about is, I mean, just go look at CoinMarketCap's post on X, the kind of first one that jumps off the page. And you know what? I think at face value, this is just bold and daring. It's almost somewhat where they're going to be floating legal consequences out there. $600 million. Come on, guys. I mean, this is somebody that personally, this would, in my opinion, right, if this was a true Charles Hoskinson was behind a 600 million treasury fraud scandal, okay, I would put this up probably even ahead of the FTX fiasco. Maybe not as drastic as that, but just simply put, that was a little bit more complex. This one would just be one guy just basically taking 600 mil and running. When, at face value, these guys didn't come off as criminals, so you just never truly know. And it's kind of what I talked about in my videos yesterday, talking about not Cardano in specific, but you hear all this commentary, right? You listen to me, you listen to people on YouTube, and this is why I try not to use my cheerleading skills and my pom-poms, which I was never a cheerleader, full disclosure, more than you have to, okay? We're not going to... My saying that I always use is we're not going to pump sunshine on a cloudy day. We try to keep a 100 right down the middle. The glass is half full and half empty, but that's another kind of way I just look at it. But the reason why I'm talking about this right now for you guys is because I think when you put it all at face value, you kind of have to just understand that, hey, you watch Charles Hoskinson lives, and when has he ever talked negatively about Cardano, right? There's a lot of negative things. And I'm just saying even minute things that really don't impact price, don't impact, hey, I know this to be true. It's a negative towards the blockchain, so I'm not going to invest in it. there are things like that with each and every crypto. There's no such thing as a perfect crypto. Everything has their flaws. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I just think that we get lost sometimes in this world of speculation where we look for, influence and conversations to be had from prominent voices, way bigger than I am personally. And this is something where it's unfortunate because you kind of have to just stay 100. But, for the clicks and the views and the appeal and the FOMO, you got to act like it's the best thing next to sliced bread. Okay. And that's unfortunate because it's probably a reason and a testament to why, maybe people get turned off by what my content is, because I don't do that, right? But I am going to share with you guys the facts in this one. And like I said, guys, CoinMarketCap right here, just spelling it out from a community post right here as you read it. This is where you look into denying the allegations of misappropriating 600 million worth of ADA from the Cardano treasury. We're going to get into the details in the next article that I'm going to break down, but let's look at this one, right? This was a 2021 Allegra hard fork involving 318 million ADA tokens in move instantaneous reward transactions, okay? And that's kind of the one thing, right? A lot of times it is true, but if it sounds too good to be true and you're getting free crypto, you're getting rewards, you're getting reflections, whatever they want to call it or label it, sometimes and more times than not, it is kind of just part of a workaround for the people that are running the crypto. But Cardano is a multi-billion-dollar top 10 asset. So let's not get it twisted. And back then, as we look into the dates, I mean, they were even higher than top 10 and into the top 5, I believe, at this current time, okay? But this is where, you look into the bulk of this, right? Hoskinson is claiming that 350 million of ADA, 350 million tokens, I should say, were redeemed by the original buyers over a period of 7 years. And the audit report that is going to be released by the Cardano Foundation on Treasury holdings following the community backlash, and this is something where I think that will tell the whole story, right? The Cardano Foundation, you talk decentralization, you talk about kind of maybe the negative that Hoskinson has too much control, too much power at the top. Well, not so fast, because he really doesn't, okay? The Cardano Foundation is responsible for a lot of their doings. And this is something where, he's taken the necessary steps, right? He's kind of saying that he feels deeply hurt. He's looking to turn over his social media if he has to during this audit report. And then also looking at the remaining unclaimed tokens after the 7-year period, they were donated to Intersect, according to Hoskinson. Okay. So there you go. It's something where these guys have a ton of money. It wouldn't surprise me what we saw with, Sam Bankman-Fried, what we saw with a lot of the stuff with Binance, and just to name a few, right? And that's just at the top. There's, obviously at a smaller scale, there's tons, but it is what it is. And I just, gonna give the man the benefit of the doubt. I will wait till the audit report is completed before we rush to conclusions, and then, let due process take its course. But this is something where we look into what is happening from a price action standpoint. They're holding the key support during the misappropriation claims. And we're going to look back at historical data, because will Cardano crash when the audit report is released? Okay. And actually, like I told you guys, it's actually kind of up in some form or fashion, but it's remaining steady. I think that you look back at the all-time highs, it's down 75%, but relatively speaking, towards a lot of cryptos that were around back in that bull run of 2021, they all are experiencing the same kind of fates. Okay. But this is kind of where we're looking to the accusations, all right, made by Masato Alexander. Apologies if I did not pronounce that correctly, but that is an NFT artist, okay, alleging that Hoskinson used privileged access to move 318 million. That was worth $619 million at the time during that Allegra hard fork back in 2021. Okay, there was a two-step process that involved wiping out unclaimed ADA from the initial coin offering, and then using a special move instantaneous reward transaction to shift funds under the control of Hoskinson or the IOG, the company that is behind Cardano. Now, the funny thing about this is I kind of want to know from this man personally how he came about this information, okay? It kind of takes one to know one. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but You know, that was back in 2017. And it's just kind of funny to see, you know, 8 years later, 7 years later, when we're sitting here and it's just kind of like, why now? Okay. What made this come about? I'm just very curious to that. But this is where we look even into another one, his post at Masato Alexander. You can see this on May 7th. And that's where he talked about in 2021, unilaterally using the Genesis keys to rewrite the Cardano ledger and take control of approximately $619 million, okay? And goes on to say that this was one of the larger reorgs for a ledger in blockchain history, because in 2016, the Ethereum community that forked over $60 million during that DAO hack occurred. So it's almost too large to kind of believe that this has any kind of merit. I think it's almost, and it's too large to believe that it is a mistake. So I really want to see what comes out of this, okay? And in response to all this, Charles Hoskinson did post on his X, the one advantage in a crisis or an event that tests people is that you're rapidly going to see who your friends truly are and who's fair weather. I'd like to thank the support and kind words, both privately and publicly. The downside is that I will believe that it will be a cold ... So there you go. And that's kind of where we look at the technicals behind Cardano. This is something where we look into the broader consolidation phase that we're seeing in the overall market. Cardano is mirroring that as well. But right now, guys, we talked about it, the road back to $1. I think that if we look into kind of where we're at, catalysts alike, when we talk about moving averages, getting above that 78 cents is going to be the next step ahead for us. So we're about 6 cents away from that next level. Okay. And that's kind of where, you know, there's numerous articles. You're going to find a lot of stuff on X. You're going to find a lot of stuff on the interwebs. Okay. And this is something where you look into another post that he made. No matter how many times people lie, the truth remains the same. The vast majority of those 350 million ADAs were reclaimed by the original owners within 7 years. The rest were donated to Intersect after the legal decline. Okay. And that's kind of where these remarks are going to continue. Okay. And one thing about Charles is, and for good, for better, for worse, he is very outspoken when it comes to the community. So I guarantee you we're going to get numerous, whether it be Twitter spaces, whether it be live streams, podcasts, whatever. He's going to be on the mic talking about it. And he's pretty much going to be looking to vindicate himself because I think this is something where, me personally, without knowing all the facts, without knowing the information, looking at the case presented by Alexander, it's something where I'm just going to go based off my gut on this one. And this is just too large of a mix-up, okay, to be anything of a deliberate act by Charles to defraud and steal from the ADA community. So that's what I'll leave you guys with. Appreciate you tuning in. If you haven't done so already, make sure you check out my X page. It is linked down below. Follow me there, as well as subscribe here on YouTube if you have not already done so. And also, if you do want to start trading on BTCC, that link is down below in the description. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I want to know your comments, okay? I want to know how you feel about this. Let me know your thoughts at face value, your initial reaction. Do you think he's guilty, innocent, or do you think this is just a kind of way to FUD Cardano even more, okay? Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.